you, Parker.
Hello everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. I really appreciate it. Today's video is going to be about how to become big. And when I'm talking about get big, I'm talking about having guns people can't resist, especially the women, the females, you feel me? That's what I'm talking about. You gotta get these guns, you gotta work for it though. That's the key. So before we start, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, do you want to look like a badass everywhere you go? I mean, of course, you see some huge guy like Dwayne Johnson here. This is his logo, by the way. In a movie with veins popping out, walking around looking like he's about to conquer the world. You can be like, wow, that man works out. He's chill. I wish I could be him. And that leads me to my second question. Do you want people to either hate you because you're so big or you're so athletic or fit looking? Or do you want them to admire you? I mean, those two, they go hand in hand. Some people will hate you because of what you got. Some people admire you because of the hard work you put in. Now, the third one is just simple. Do you want to become big? Now, that's the question I want to ask you. If you want to become big and you say yes, then you're going to have to follow my steps, because these steps will take you somewhere. Now, I know this is the question I asked myself when I was 14, and I was like, sure, I want to become big, but I didn't know where to start. But you see, I didn't have a personal trainer or no one to guide me. So I just went in with protein shakes, and I was like, I'm going to get these protein shakes, I'm going to take them after I'm done. And so I would start lifting, and I get this is a funny story. When I started, I only worked arm. And when I worked arm, what I mean by that is I only worked my right bicep and tricep. So I was just lifting, curling with this arm, but never working this one. So it was like 6 months in, my right arm was becoming inflated, and my left one was still really small. It was like a toothpick. And then someone told me, they're like, bro, you're looking very disproportionate. What's wrong? I was like, what do you mean by that? And they were like, I mean, look at yourself in the mirror. Have you done that? I was like, I don't think so. So I looked at myself and I was like, wow, I'm not working my left arm. So after that, I kept working it and working it. And after a while, I kind of matched it up, but still not fully. But I mean, one side always be bigger. You feel me? All right. So yeah, just be careful with that when you're starting off. That's all I have to say about that. Work everything in proportion. You work your arms. You gotta work your tris. You gotta work your delts. You gotta work your traps. You gotta work your back. You gotta work your chest. You gotta work your chest. You gotta work your legs. You gotta work your calves. Like good old Dwayne Johnson says, if you try and get by, you'll get dealt with and trapped. Follow that, and you'll succeed. Now, don't forget legs. That wasn't in that, but don't forget legs. You want to be huge here? You don't want to look like an inverted triangle, puny leg, chicken legs, call it that. You don't want that. Trust me. That's all I have to say. Alright, so other than that, second step in becoming big is ask yourself, how much do you eat? Now, if you tell me, oh no, I don't eat like 3 meals on a good day, 2 meals on a bad day. Bro, get out of this video if you do that. I mean, if there's huge meals, alright, we can cope with that. But I mean, if it's like 1 egg and like a toast, bro, you don't even want to become big. You want to stay scrawny. You want to stay small. Now, if you want to become big, you gotta change that. You gotta have maybe in the morning, maybe have like 4 eggs, 2 pieces of toast. But you gotta change it from 3 meals. Multiply by 2, you get 6. 6 meals a day, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you gain some real size. At least that's how I do it. But it all depends on if you're cutting or bulking. Bulking is when you're trying to gain muscle, but you don't care if it's a little bit of fat, as long as you become massive. Now when you're cutting, it usually comes right after bulking. So if it comes after bulking, that means you need to start dieting. You start changing your diet up. So maybe have a calorie deficit, eat not specifically less, but healthier. Now when you're bulking, like me, what I personally did, I don't know if it'll work for anyone, because I mean we're all different people, we have different genetics, stuff like that. When I was starting, I ate pizza. I don't know if I've said this before in a video, but pizza was like my safe haven. I would constantly eat like 2 boxes in one sitting twice a week for like 4 times. So that's like a month. And after a while, I just started gaining size. Plus the gym, I was spending hours in there. I was like doing twice a day, and that's how I gained like considerable size. You feel me? But yeah. So if you're eating, stick to stuff like just high calorie stuff if you're trying to like gain weight, but also not bad. And don't do weight gainers. Don't do that. Those things, they'll con you out of your money. Now I love protein shakes, supplements. I mean, I'm not trying to like sell you none of that, but I live by them. After a workout, I'm drinking that because I've seen it help me. I don't know if it's what I eat too that's actually helping me. I mean, of course it's helping me, but I don't know. More of the story is I love protein shakes. I see results with them, so you probably have different results, but I recommend them. Alright, so another tip when you're trying to gain some muscle, when you go to the gym, don't overtrain your muscles. Because when you start, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to go to the gym and become big. No. It takes time. Now, if you want to go to the gym, you want to get guns, you're not going to get those overnight. You're not going to get those the next day. You're going to get those in like, depending on how much you eat, how much you do all that, for like a year, maybe like 6 months in, you'll start to see a little bit of results. But it takes time, that's all I have to say. And when you go to the gym, don't work out every day. Now I know people that whenever they start, they're like, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to keep tearing up the muscles, I'm going to do it good, I'm going to gain. No, that's not good at all, actually. When you start, I would recommend 5 days. Now you're probably asking yourself, why 5 days? I want to be going every day. When you see whenever you work out, you're tearing up the muscles, and the actual growing is happening when you're not working out. It's repairing, becoming stronger, so it remembers that next time you work out, that those weights that you did, the tearing that you did to it. So that's my take on it. And I know I didn't follow that in the beginning. I was working out 7 days a week, but then after a while, I was like, man, I'm pushing myself. I'm really overtraining. How can I fix this? So I learned it, and I started working out less. Less, but I mean, by 2 days. Less by 2 days. Alright, and so another tip is, don't be afraid to ask people for help. Now you see, I never had a personal trainer, so I went through basically the School of Hard Knocks, gym edition, if you can call it that. But I asked one guy in particular, his name was Marcus. Shout out to Marcus, bro. That man showed me not everything, but the whole groundwork of everything. And that I basically expanded upon, and now everything is based off of his teachings. And yeah, if he's watching this video, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. But yeah, if it's safe, like don't be scared, especially if you're starting out. You're gonna be like, oh, I'm small, I'm intimidated. Now I don't feel like that. Just ask for a spot or something, get to know them or something, and just if they're bigger, I mean, if anything, they're gonna be hopefully not cocky, because that's something that's bad. Now you should be nice. They should be nice. So just ask them, because you never know what you may learn. That's something I found out, and I appreciated it a lot when he did it. And yeah, other than that, you should you should drink a lot of water. That's one thing I started doing too late into the game. But then I started to realize that our body is totally made up of water, basically. Our muscles made up of water. So what are we doing when we're not drinking water? Well, we're of course being dehydrated, but I mean, whenever you drink water, it's helping with everything in the muscles, helping them recover, keeping them hydrated. So in simple terms, it's not hurting you drinking a gallon. It's gonna help you. That's the advice that I give, and that's the advice that I give. And the final tip that I give you all is, usually this is more inclined towards teenagers. If you want to go and party with your friends, ask yourself, do your friends have your same intentions in mind? You want to gain muscle? Of course. Do you want to gain muscle? Yes, of course, bro. What kind of a question is that? But if you go with them, you're basically contradicting yourself, because I mean, teenage years, it's where a lot of peer pressure is, weed, alcohol, drugs in general. Like me, personally, I don't mess with none of that because I know that it'll mess me up. And alcohol is basically poison to your gains, so if you want to end up feeling a little bit drunk for a little bit and feel like, whoa, I'm cool because I'm drinking, I'm a teenager, that's really damaging your gains. I wouldn't advise to do that. But I mean, you watch this whole video wondering how I could become big. So if you end up going to drink right after this video, totally forget this video, never watch it again. That's the advice I'm giving to you, because I mean, you're just contradicting yourself. And those are the tips that I have. And yeah, just always forget, alright, those are the tips that I have. And never forget to be always dedicated to what you do. And if you want to look badass, just follow those steps. Eat a lot. Train adequately, not overtraining, because then you're going to start losing gains. Drink water. Stay hydrated. Don't do drugs. Don't do alcohol. None of that. I could personally advise against that because I don't do none of that. And I've seen good gains with it. So yeah, just follow my advice. Appreciate you watching my video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Alright, peace.